Hello and welcome to the show Crime Talk. Today we dive into a chilling tale from Ingolstadt, a city in southern Germany, where in a quiet corner of Ingolstadt, two families lived as neighbors. One hailed from Algeria, the other from Iraq, seeking refuge from their troubled homeland. August 2022 brought a nightmare for both families, where a girl from a family aged 23 years mysteriously disappeared. Their disappearance left the community in shock. The girls were not just neighbors, but also the same age, adding an eerie coincidence to the mystery. Stay tuned as we unravel this perplexing case, where a clever mind's plan to commit a crime is exposed and justice seeks its course. Two families unknown to each other share a chilling connection. Each family has a missing daughter, and both have filed police case. The mystery deepens as the search continues. The German police, baffled, admits such cases are rare, filled with twists from start to finish. This perplexing case earns a unique moniker from the German media and police: the carbon copy murder case or Doppelganger murder. But why carbon copy in Ingolstadt, Germany? A family is missing their 23-year-old daughter, Sharaban K. The eerie similarities between her disappearance and another's led to the case's name. The carbon copy murder case remains a haunting enigma, a tale of two families bound by an unsettling coincidence. Where in this case, a 23-year-old German-Iraqi woman sought out a lookalike on Instagram and murdered her with a friend in order to fake her own death, prosecutors in Bavaria believe. But how and why, even when they were strangers? Now, meet Sharaban, a beautiful Iraqi woman with long black hair. Life was going well until her family moved to Germany from Iraq. Her family, deeply traditional, imposed many restrictions on her. They were vigilant, wanting to protect her from falling into wrong hands. But Sharaban yearned for freedom. She had a boyfriend and wanted to live her life with freedom. She wished to meet him without hiding, to go out and live as she desired. But her family couldn't tolerate this. The restrictions increased. Even going out alone in the evening was forbidden. Sharaban felt trapped, her freedom stifled. Tired of the constraints, Sharaban began to fight back. She didn't want anyone to stop her. Despite her family's belief that they were acting for her welfare, Sharaban yearned for the freedom to live her life on her own terms. They told Sharaban not to meet strangers, not to leave home late. As time passed, she grew worried about her family's restrictions. Then a thought struck her. She wished for a life free from her family's constraints, a life lived on her own terms. It was early 2022. Sharaban began to ponder how she could break free from her family's chain. She confided in her boyfriend, a foreigner living in Germany. They agreed that family bonds shouldn't limit their freedom. They decided to meet without any restrictions. And so, Sharaban's journey to freedom began. A 24-year-old woman hatched a plan to find a friend on Instagram. She created a fake it, aiming to connect with someone who matches with her age, height, and appearance. She began her search, reaching out to many girls through this fake it. Despite some close matches, several women bearing her resemblance had been contacted by Sharaban Key, operating on social media sites under numerous aliases. By making various promises, she tried to bring about meetings, which was initially unsuccessful. She couldn't find her perfect match. Persistence paid off in July 2022, where she finally found the girl who looked like her carbon copy and whom she wasn't searching of. When Sharaban stumbled upon Khadija's Instagram profile, she was smitten. Her style, her grace, it was all captivating. Khadija, a fashion blogger, was used to attention. Sharaban, however, stood out. She admired her, not just her fashion sense, but her persona. Sharaban reached out and they connected. A perfect match found on Instagram, proving love can bloom anywhere. Sharaban and Khadija connected over beauty products on Instagram. Despite living 140 km apart, they formed a bond. Khadija, an Algerian fashion blogger, lived in Germany after 2 marriages. Her work was thriving. Their friendship blossomed over time, proving that distance is just a number when hearts connect. Khadija, a beauty product seller, was contacted by a fan on social media. Sharaban persuaded Khadija to meet her personally. One day in August, Khadija left her house, telling her family she was meeting her ex-husband Instead, she met her fan, Sharaban. Why did Khadija lie about her destination? Anyways, the mystery deepens as Sharaban's boyfriend was also present at the meeting. Khadija and Sharaban met, surprised by the uncanny resemblance they shared. She shocked to see each other as they were looking like twins. Sharaban, who arrived in his car, offered Khadija a ride home. As they drove, they stopped at secluded spots along the highway. Seizing an opportunity, Sharaban and his accomplice attacked Khadija. They strangled her. Khadija wasn't able to ask anyone for help. Some minutes after, they threw her out of the car. In the cover of darkness, they assaulted her with knives until they were sure she was dead. Sharaban then switched clothes with Khadija, meticulously removing any identifying marks on her body. And finally, Khadija's body was placed in the back seat of the black Mercedes, a chilling end to a night of deception and violence. A car was abandoned on the highway. A concerned guide alerts the police. After the police arrival, their search revealing a body inside the car. Fear grips them in the police investigation. The body was sent to the hospital. The car's registration leads them to the owner. The car belongs to Sharaban's father. He reveals his daughter left in the evening and hasn't returned. Her mobile phone was switched off. Sharaban's struggle for freedom begins. A chilling discovery was made recently. A body was found, and it was identified as Sharaban. Yes, Sharaban. The family recognized the body based on the clothes and hair. The height matched Sharaban. The face was unrecognizable, marred by violence. The body was sent for the post-mortem. The first thing checked was the fingerprints. These are crucial in confirming identity. The police were involved from the start. They wanted to be sure that the body was indeed Sharaban's. This marks a tragic end to Sharaban's journey to independence. A journey that was cut short, leaving a family in mourning. Now the question rises, how would the police find the body of Sharaban instead of Khadija? Ever wondered about the mystery behind an Instagram profile? Well, even fingerprints were matched with a girl named Sharaban, but the DNA didn't match. That indicates it wasn't Sharaban's body. So, who was this girl? Who killed her? The police were left with these questions. Meanwhile, 140 km away, a missing report was filed. A 23-year-old girl named Khadija had disappeared in August in Ingolstadt. The police made a shocking discovery. The date when Khadija disappeared matched their case. When they saw her picture, they were surprised. It was the same girl from the Instagram profile. A digital friendship, a real-life mystery. Is there a connection between Khadija and Sharaban? Family denied. A body was found, but DNA and fingerprints didn't match. But surprisingly, the fingerprints matched with Khadija's from the database. The mystery began last August 16, when the body of a woman who had been stabbed to death was found by the parents of the 23-year-old German-Iraqi female in her parked vehicle in Ingolstadt, according to a statement from police in Upper Bavaria North. But a subsequent autopsy raised serious doubts about the identity of the woman. Finally, Khadija's body found. But the question, where is Sharaban? The investigation continues. A family is in distress. Their loved one missing. No contact. Phone switched off. It brought relief to the father of the 23-year-old, but not under the circumstances he expected. The police came to us and said, "Good news, your daughter is alive. We thought she was dead." German newspaper bill quoted the woman's father as saying. Now, German police step in, turning to her social media accounts for clues. What they find is shocking. For months, she's been searching for girls who look like her. A strange twist in this tale of friendship and distance. The dead woman, it turns out, was another 23-year-old woman who police said looked strikingly similar to the suspect. A girl's frantic search for her carbon copy on social media sparked police curiosity. Through Instagram, they discovered how she met Sharaban. They eyed her boyfriend, found Sharaban with him, and located 150 km away from home. The truth begins to unravel. A chilling tale of deception unfolds as Sharaban and her boyfriend are interrogated by the police. Sharaban confesses she was tired of her family's control and wanted to fake her own death. She wanted to be dead in their eyes, but alive and free elsewhere. She found a companion through Instagram with no prior relationship. A fight ensued, and she saw her chance to execute her plan. Her motive of freedom, a desperate act, a life taken, all to escape her own. A mystery unraveled. A misidentified body, and a shocking confession. The tale of Khadija and Sharaban is a chilling one. It's a story that has left many in shock and disbelief. Recently, a murder case was filed against Sharaban and her boyfriend. The police believe they conspired and committed a heinous crime. According to the Bavarian police, the main suspect contacted the victim through social media in early August and arranged a meeting on August 16. She traveled with her friend in her car to the Greater Heilbronn area, around 150 miles west of Ingolstadt, to pick up the victim at home, police said. The victim was lured out of the vehicle and stabbed to death in a wooded area insidiously and for base motives, the statement added. The police have gathered compelling evidence. They're confident that this will lead to a 20-year sentence for both Sharaban and her boyfriend. Khadija, a young 23-year-old woman, was the victim. Her family is left questioning why her life was put at risk without any apparent reason or enmity. The German police named this the Doppelganger or carbon copy murder case. They believe the culprits were seeking a doppelganger of themselves to kill and live freely. This story is a stark reminder of the dark thoughts and plans that can lurk in the human mind. That's all for today's story.